to answer an email here. Again, this is along the lines of my efforts now to basically make my correspondence public. So I'll try to strip out the personal stuff. It says, good morning, Kurt. Been forever since we last corresponded, as things have been changing a lot in my life. I'll get to that. First, as I've been out of the loop for months now, I was unaware you'd made it back to the States. Welcome home. Thank you. It's good to be home. I know it's tough going so far, but I know you have the clout to get it done. I've had a few times that I've doubted that, but you're right. You know, this is really, I know I go on and on and I talk about it over and over, but you know, this has really been an eye-opener to me, and some of the more rarefied human emotions, such as loneliness, which is something that I have not known much in my 50 years, but I've gotten a good dose of it now, and I have a lot of sympathy for those. I've gained a lot of empathy for people who might find themselves alone after a certain situation. And maybe this is strange, but particularly, I don't know why this is. Maybe it's because there's so many that I've known, men my age who, and by extension to women, but particularly to men my age who, for whatever reason, had a family but then lost that, and then are alone. I think I remember my dad, after the divorce with my mother, my dad living alone in that little apartment by the freeway, and I'm close to the freeway, and all alone there after that family life. And I remember after I moved down there, I would sit in the living room there watching Cosmos. This was in the early 80s, and my dad would be alone in the bedroom and going to bed early, and I could understand how sleep would be an escape from the emptiness of a place like this. I mean, there's really something to be said for the lack of the human element. How did I get way off on that tangent? So I guess the point is, you know, and my family will be here eventually, and things are getting better. But the point is, boy, am I grateful. I mean, before I made this trip, I couldn't have understood so well what would it be like to experience that. And I don't really know it because my family is there still as my family. I mean, my wife's, is she 9,000 miles away or something like that? And she's still reminding me to put down the toilet seat, you know, and they'll be here eventually, and the home will blossom with my wife and my daughter. So imagine if that was gone for good. I mean, that's another level. Wow, what strength to go through that. So anyway, how did I get way off on that? So I know it's tough going so far, but I know you have the clout to get it done. Clout, maybe not. It's just there's no other choice. I mean, there were plenty of nights in the first month that, with two in particular, that I would have boarded a plane back to Japan if I had had the chance. Yeah, it wasn't clout. It was just no other choice. Things are okay now. I won't board a plane back to Japan unless I have to. I hope the fam is adjusting well. The fam's not here. If you haven't caught on by what I'm saying, I'm alone. Anyway, over the summer I had to move again. The new landlord was, well, to be kind, just plain nuts. So now I found a new place and it's nice and quiet. I'm actively searching for a better paying job and looking into going back to college. I now have a wonderful girlfriend and her family has all but adopted me. This is wonderful, as my prayers for a family have been answered. This is of course wonderful for morale and has given me even more motivation to succeed in life. Again, hope things are well. Hope to hear from you. Let me know what's up. You signed DB80, and there's your name. I get correspondence from people, and there's the type of correspondence that I have that is of particular interest to me. All correspondence is interesting, but of a particular interest are, and I don't know why it's worked out this way, but it tends to be young men. And I won't go in any. This person and I have been communicating. Young by young, I simply mean younger than me, but in many cases they're in their early 20s. Young men who are struggling in life, usually struggling towards independence, and that's been a theme in my life and in my efforts on the internet, has been to touch on encouraging independence and the qualities and characteristics and factors of action that lead towards holding on to independence, with the recognition that independence can be lost, and how to suffer through the loss of independence and to gain it again until it's perhaps gone for good one day. I mean, eventually, that comes from my time in the old age home, where independence really was gone, physical independence at least. Anyway, this is a morning of off ramps. Everything I've been doing this morning, all of my thoughts, I find myself little off ramps. Next turn leads off into considerations of objective reality. It's like, stop, stay on the track, stay on. So the point is, in a group of young men that contact me, there's typically two types. The two types are young men who contact me to more or less complain about their lives, but really don't seem to be interested in doing anything about it, but to simply tell me why they can't be independent, and then throw up examples of the obstacles in their way without ever really making an earnest effort to overcome them. And then the second category are those who tell me about the obstacles in their life, and then are citing examples of overcoming these, or finding ways around them, or redesigning their objectives to be more accommodating to the reality that they live in. And this message is from a man in the latter case. This person is consistently moving forward, and recognizing that even some of the smaller steps are nonetheless steps, and has an there's an air of optimism in his language, and gratitude as well. In his case, it might be gratitude towards God. He talks about prayers, gratitude towards family, and I think that's a healthy thing in wherever the gratitude is directed. But gratitude and effort and optimism and a recognition that there may be more than one way around a particular obstacle, and that encourages me. That makes me happy. I love those. The ones where it's just I can't succeed and there's no way I can succeed. And here's another example of how I can't succeed isn't the right word. Of how I can't proceed. That's probably a better word. Those tend to kind of make me a little bit down because it makes me because I want to see people do well and be happy and enjoy life and wring out some pleasure and value for themselves and others in the course of this exercise, and to just stew in one's own situation and look out the window and long after something else without finding a way to open the door, or if necessary jimmy the window open and make a rope ladder and climb out. Seems kind of futile in a way. So anyway, I'll leave it at that. Good luck. Thanks for writing.